What is going on, Panther Lair? We are back talking about the Pittsburgh Panthers 73-80 home loss to the Hofstra Pride this past Sunday. Now, I ended the previous video talking about that I was going to continue to break down the importance of taking good angles in ball screen defense and point of attack defense, and I want to continue that here. I have another video after this about the adjustments that I think Pitt tried to make in ball screens against Cruz Davis. Those obviously didn't work out either, so that'll probably be the third video in this series, but want to jump in here. To be very truthful, Beal Cummings was really one of the only reasons Pitt got back into this and made this a one-possession game a few times midway through the second half. However, his lack of defense was also one of the reasons that they never ended up taking over a lead at any point in that run there. So kind of a double-edged sword in that regard. Do think that Cummings is probably one of the team's best paths to producing points. He just has to clean up a little bit of these things on the defensive end. So taking a look here, a couple sequences between both halves. He just tends to get screened. So here, he's already pretty much conceding that he's going to be in trailing position. So the ball screen's not even there, and he's already in a position of, hey, I'm going to trail this play. Now, that could be the design, but that puts a huge emphasis then on Cameron Corrin to do something to curb this with a defender in complete trail position. Now, Corrin might be taking these choppy steps to try to get ready to do so, and he does meet him here. I don't love putting a non-shot blocker who is not going to do much to deter any type of shot in the paint here, that much pressure. And what ends up happening, he just drives into that sink. We just saw that in the last clip and just hits a nice little uncontested floater, more or less. I don't think the design is to concede downhill penetration from that far out. I just can't imagine that's the case. Next clip. Hofstra did a good job of running a lot of combination actions, a lot of different looks, and kind of wrinkles off of some of their zoom looks here. Cummings isn't guilty of not communicating. You just see he calls out something there like, hey, we're going to switch. But in him having to like help and then stunt back out, I mean, this is a tough closeout here. So again, can try to communicate out, hey, this is what we're going to do. Looks like 33 is going to roll in there, so he crashes a little bit to maybe help on that. But as he closes out, not disciplined at all, concedes an immediate drive. And then Corrin, who has to come down to account for that, and this kind of slow rolling action by 33. I mean, this is just too easy. So again, we're going to see, well, this is not the worst thing in terms of picking this up, right? Trying to derail Davis's drive. But here's kind of where this gets messy is I'm not sure where the communication on this is. So Dunning Jr. is going to get screened. Corrin is set up to defend Davis going right. So now he's going left, which they absolutely don't want to do. Cummings steps up to curtail the dribble penetration, but there's just not a communication call out here to pick up his guy. So you end up having two on the ball. If this is a like really well executed peel switch here, that maybe Dunning Jr. just feels like, hey, I already know that I need to peel back here. But there's a lot of this happening very quickly in real time, and it's just mistimed. So again, is that on Cummings? Maybe not, but I think it's like one of the things where it works out where there's just not communication there, so his guy ends up getting free. Here, gets a little bit caught on a screen. Again, here's we are in a switching situation. I think Corrin got switched on the guys far too much in this game. But in doing that, Witherspoon steps off his guy to curtail 33, who is pretty much rolling at this point, even though Cummings tries to pick him up coming out of the stumble. Because of that, we have two guys here, no one at the ball. And at the last second here, instead of closing out to shoot, he tries to like close out to the gap. I mean, is this, obviously this is a gameplay. This could very well work out. He tips the ball, gets up, runs down, and gets a 2. But because it doesn't work out at all, you give a 41% shooter on the season a really good look at his first basket of the game. So these are the types of things that I think if the Panthers can clean these up, they're obviously going to be better for it. It's a situation where there's a little bit of lack of discipline on the defensive end in terms of navigating screens, in terms of communication, and those things are adding up. I think the effort's there for the most part. I think they're just missing in the details, and that's been pretty systemic of the last couple of years, sometimes on the defensive end. So this isn't necessarily a new thing, but I think it's going to be a problem here for the rest of the season. It's not like Pitt didn't come into the game with some type of plan. I just don't think they executed it well. The adjustments didn't go that well, and they end up losing to a mid-major at home.